Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing a Disney expectations versus reality video where I'm going to outline what our plans are for our upcoming Walt Disney World vacation, and then I will insert clips after each day where I share what our plans are intended to be, what our expectations are of the reality. So I'll film, of course, the reality after the trip, and this is 3 days before our trip. So I have my handy Disney binder in my lap and I'm ready to go through our week and share with you what I'm expecting to do each day. I hope this helps you with planning and helps you to wrap your mind around the way that sometimes things change and shift. We go to Disney quite a lot, and every time we go, we have plans, and that's really helpful with having reserved fast passes and reservations for meals and all those kinds of things. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of flexibility required because other outside variables come in and sometimes things just have to change. And so hopefully this video will help you kind of see how we adjusted and adapted based on what we originally intended to do. And then when I come back, of course, I'll share with you what actually happened. So our Disney trip plan is written out here, so I'm going to be looking down quite a lot to remind myself of what my expectations are and what our plans are for each day. Before I begin, I just want to make just one quick disclaimer, and that is that we do take a midday break every day. I never knew that was controversial until this past year in January of 2017 when we went on a Disney vacation, and I vlogged it, and each day, almost each day, we went back to the hotel for a couple of hours after lunch to rest, and I have gotten so much hate for that. Number one, it's our vacation and we'll do whatever we want and we won't apologize for it. Number two, I have scoliosis in my spine, so my back I live with chronic pain basically, and because of that, that affects every single decision of my life. If you live with chronic pain, you know what I mean. And I don't feel bad for myself, it's just a part of my life. With that, it's really hard for me to be on my feet and walking as much as Disney requires all day, every day for a week. I can't physically do that without just being in a lot of pain. So for me, going back to the hotel and resting my back and my feet is really helpful. So I will not tolerate any hate for taking a break in Disney. If you choose to be in the parks all day, more power to you, enjoy yourself. We choose not to do that. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. Okay, so our first day is Sunday, January 21st. We will be heading to the Dallas airport, which is the closest airport to us, very early in the morning for our 6:15 a.m. flight that is heading to Orlando. And we will probably eat breakfast in the Dallas airport, and then we should arrive in Orlando around 9 or 9:30. We will wear our magic bands on our wrist onto the plane, and then the idea will be that we will get a text message, hopefully telling us our room number. That's what happened last year. Right when we landed, we received it, and that way we could get on the Magical Express. The Magical Express people were able to take care of our luggage for us, which was amazing. And then when we were dropped off at our resort, which this year it is Port Orleans French Quarter, which is where we stayed last year, we loved it. We will be able to just directly go to our rooms, scan our magic bands into our rooms, and have a minute to refresh ourselves. After we're checked into our hotel room, we plan on going to Magic Kingdom and getting a quick service lunch. Riley really wants to go to Casey's. I'm kind of interested in going to a couple of other places, so we'll see where we end up going for our quick service lunch. We are on the meal plan, the mid-tier meal plan that includes a table service meal, a quick service meal, and 2 snacks per person per night of your stay. So we are on that. After lunch, after a quick service lunch in Magic Kingdom, so I didn't say this, but obviously after we check in at our hotel, we're immediately gonna go over to Magic Kingdom. We have 3 fast passes in the afternoon, and the 3 fast passes are for Haunted Mansion, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and Space Mountain. Depending on the crowd levels at the park and how our energy is feeling, we may or may not end up doing more rides. We may or may not shop. I'm not sure what we'll plan on doing, but we definitely have a dinner reservation that evening in Magic Kingdom. So our dinner reservation that evening, we plan on going to a Liberty Tree Tavern at 5:20. I have gone to this restaurant before, but it's been literally 15 years, and so I don't remember it at all. And so Riley's never been, so we're both really looking forward to going somewhere new. It sounds like a cozy, nice little place, and we like that it's in Magic Kingdom, so we don't have to travel after having traveled all day. After dinner, I would imagine we would probably do a few more things and probably head back to our hotel to get a really good night's sleep, because we will have gotten up at 2 a.m. So I'm imagining we're probably going to be tired, but you never know, that Disney adrenaline and energy kind of can kick you through. So those are our plans for day 1 of our trip, which is our travel day and about a half day in Magic Kingdom with Liberty Tree Tavern for dinner. Now I will insert footage telling you what we actually did. Hello, we are back. So if you've been following along with my channel, I'll link above our Disney playlist, and I have vlogs for every day of the trip. So some of this information won't be completely new to you, but we didn't put every single detail and didn't film every single thing in our vlog. So I'm hoping that this video will be able to give a more complete picture, as well as help compare and contrast plans versus reality, in the hopes that maybe that will help you with planning your trip. So anyway, on Sunday, January 21st, which was our travel day to Orlando, pardon me for looking down, I have notes on my phone. Unlike the trip that we took in January of 2017, this year our room wasn't ready until close to 3 p.m., which is the official check-in time. So last year it was ready right around 9. By the time we arrived at the resort, we were able to get into our hotel room. That wasn't the case this year, which wasn't a huge deal, but it did put a little hitch in our plans. And so what we ended up doing was taking our carry-on bags and checking them with Bell Services. And within our carry-on bags, I had packed like a smaller little fanny pack that I shared in my Disney haul, which I will put up above. And so I just transferred like my phone, my vlogging camera, chapstick, things like that, just like a few small essentials into that little fanny pack. And then we made our way right to Magic Kingdom because we were eager to get to the parks since we weren't able to get into our room. We went to, when we got into Magic Kingdom, it was a Sunday after, well, it was about a Sunday afternoon. It was probably around 11:30 or noon at that point. And so, not quite afternoon technically, but it was midday, let's say. And the park was quite full, being that it was gorgeous weather, it was a Sunday, and it was Magic Kingdom. So it was not like an empty park that we were walking into. So we immediately decided that we were gonna get something to eat for lunch. We ended up going to Pecos Bill for lunch, which is back in Frontierland, and we had never been there before, and so I got fajitas and Riley got nachos, and then there's like a huge bar full of toppings, and so we ended up eating that for lunch. It was yummy. Like, we really enjoyed it. And then after that, we decided to go and walk through the park, and we checked our My Disney Experience app and saw that there wasn't a huge line at Journey of the Little Mermaid, so we walked on to that. I think we had to wait about 30 minutes, but that was a pretty low line wait time for that day. Then we did something that we've never done before, which was we rode the train around the park. The first time we went to Disney, we never did it. I don't even know if we knew that it existed. And the second time, it was actually closed for refurbishment. So we rode the train around the whole entire park. That's a really, really nice way. Just take a deep breath and cool off. So we really enjoyed doing that. Then we had a Haunted Mansion and then a Space Mountain Fast Pass. We did both of those. We got Dole Whips while we watched the Festival of Fantasy Parade, which I'm really glad we did that, because that was the only afternoon that we ended up, that might have been one of the only afternoons that we were in Magic Kingdom to be able to see Festival of Fantasy, and I absolutely love Festival of Fantasy Parade, so if you're heading to Magic Kingdom or Disney, make sure you see it. Then we rode the Carousel of Progress, we shopped on Main Street, and then we had dinner at Liberty Tree Tavern that evening. We had a relatively early dinner. It was at 5:20. We really enjoyed that. It was a very cozy, relaxing meal, quite slow-paced. Or I should say it's self-paced. If you had a family with little ones and you wanted it to be quick, you could, but we took our time, and we really enjoyed having some extra time there because we had been up since 2 a.m. and traveling, so we were pretty tired. After we ate dinner, we did a Seven Dwarfs Fast Pass, and we ended up leaving before Happily Ever After because we were completely beat. We had been up since 2 a.m. We made our way back to our hotel. We went to the little dining hall area, the little cafeteria, quick service restaurant type of thing at Port Orleans French Quarter, which was our hotel on this trip, and we got our refillable mugs because we were on the Disney dining plan, and so we went ahead and got those. We were able to check into our room at that point, and our luggage was already in our room because we had used the Magical Express yellow baggage tags back in Dallas. So we hadn't seen our luggage since about 3 a.m. But it was nicely placed in our room that evening, and we were able to get a good night's sleep. So that was our day one, which was Sunday, January 21st, and overall it went great. Okay, so on day 2, which is Monday, January 22nd, we have the day split into 2 parks, which is standard for us. That's what we prefer to do because we like to take those midday breaks, and we have the park hopper passes. So every day for the rest of our trip, except for our final travel day, will be a 2-park day. On January 22nd, that first full day in Disney that we'll have, we plan on going to Epcot in the morning, and we are eating breakfast at Garden Grill before the park opens. Neither of us have ever been to Garden Grill, so we're looking forward to it, and we're hoping that we will be able to eat breakfast and enjoy breakfast at Garden Grill and then head over to Soarin' before the park opens and ride Soarin' without a wait. Garden Grill and Soarin' are in the same building within Epcot, so that's what we're hoping to be able to do. After breakfast, and hopefully after riding Soarin', we have 3 fast passes, which are Frozen Ever After, Spaceship Earth, and Mission Space. So we will ride those 3 rides and then bump around and see what else we feel like doing within Epcot that morning, what has short lines, what, you know, just kind of depends. I'm not exactly sure. Then for lunch, we have a quick service lunch scheduled in Epcot, and I would imagine that we are probably going to go somewhere within the World Showcase because, of course, the food in the World Showcase is delicious. So I love the France Pavilion, and getting, like, they have like some sandwiches and things in the French Pavilion that I really, really love. So that's kind of what I'm thinking for lunch, but we'll have to see. Riley's talking about fish and chips, which I don't care for, so he may, you know, go do that, and I might go do something else, and then we'll meet up and eat together. But that's what we're planning on for lunch. And then we are planning on going back to our hotel after lunch for that break, like I talked about earlier. And then heading to Magic Kingdom that evening for dinner and a happily ever after dessert party, which I am thrilled about. I cannot wait to experience that. I've been looking forward to it ever since we planned it. So our dinner option for that night, I've scheduled us to have 2 snack credits each for dinner. So if you're not familiar with the Disney dining plan, snacks are not just like a bag of Cheetos. There are some good hearty snack options. So we figure that 2 snack credits per person, 4 snack credits total is definitely enough to get us enough food to be considered dinner, especially since we have a dessert party at 6:45 p.m. So I don't even know if we're gonna eat dinner. I don't know what that's gonna look like. I'm interested to see how that plays out because we probably will be hungry for dinner, but I don't want to get too full because we paid to go to this dessert party where there's going to be all kinds of delicious desserts, and I want to have some room to taste them and try them and not be full. So that's what we're planning on doing after the dessert party. After Happily Ever After, Magic Kingdom does close at 8 p.m. so I'm imagining we'll probably stay until park closing and then head back to our hotel and retire for the evening. So now I will insert footage and tell you how our Monday actually went. Day 2, which was Monday, January 22nd, we started our day with breakfast at Garden Grill in Epcot, and I had mentioned that our reservation was at 8:30 and I was going to try to bump it earlier, and I tried hard to bump it earlier, and there were no available time slots earlier. I really wanted that 8 a.m. reservation. So what we decided to do was just pretend like we had an 8 a.m. reservation. I mean, we weren't fooling anyone. They could scan and see that we had an 8:30, but we decided to just get there in time for 8 a.m. in the hope that they would let us in to the restaurant and let us eat early, and they did. So I don't know that would always be the case, but it did work out for us being just 2 people. It worked really well. So we left our hotel real early. We got to Epcot well before 8 a.m. We probably got to Epcot around 7:30. We got scanned in and we made our way to Garden Grill. And I think we were the first 2 people to be seated in the restaurant that morning, actually. I think we were actually the first 2 people in Epcot that morning. We were like eager to get to Epcot. So anyway, we got in, we ate at Garden Grill. It was great. It was such a fun experience. The food was great. The characters were great. We had never eaten there before. We were really trying to eat at new places on this trip, and we loved it. Then we rode Soarin' right at park opening. So we finished up breakfast probably around 8:50 before the park opened at 9. We walked over to Soarin', which is in the same building as Garden Grill, and we were able to ride Soarin' right away, which was super fun. I just loved Soarin'. So that was our first ride at Epcot. Then we actually still had enough time to walk over to the Norway Pavilion, which is like clear across the park, and we were able to ride Frozen with a very short wait. There was a longer wait at that point because the park had been opened, but it was still early morning. Disney is so wonderful because the lines are just so much less than once you get into the midday. So anyway, we rode Frozen with probably about a 20 or 25 minute wait time, which really, I think it was posted as 35 minutes and it wasn't quite that long. Then we walked back over to the other side of the park to do the Circle of Life, which is kind of like, it's an attraction that's leaving. It's like a video, basically. It's like a little presentation. And so we saw the Circle of Life because we just wanted to see it before it left, since we never had. We went over to see Nemo. We did the Nemo ride, Nemo and Friends. And then I think it's called The Sea with Nemo and Friends, but we did that. So we got a lot of rides in. Then we did Living with the Land, and then we did Spaceship Earth. So we did a lot of Epcot that morning before even lunchtime. So then at lunchtime, we went over to the World Showcase, and we were both still pretty full from lunch, but Riley wanted to try, my husband loves beer, and so he tried the grapefruit beer in Germany, absolutely loved it. I'm not a beer drinker myself, but I actually really loved that grapefruit beer. And then he also tried some beer in the France Pavilion. After we had kind of walked through and done a few things, we decided to go to the Japan Pavilion because I had wanted to do the Pick-a-Pearl, and I'm wearing it around my neck right now, the Pick-a-Pearl experience in Japan all my life. I've always chickened out. So I'm gonna link that vlog above if you want to go watch it. It was actually kind of an emotional experience, but I'm wearing the pearl now. I will insert a close-up of it, but it was such a fun experience, and I ended up getting like this silvery blue pearl, which was a surprise, and I just highly recommend that. It's $18 to pick a pearl, and every oyster has a pearl. So you're paying $18 to definitely get a pearl. You're not sure what color you're getting, you're not sure what size you're getting, but you're definitely gonna get a pearl. And then if you want to make jewelry with it, then it's an extra cost depending on the type of jewelry, whether you want a ring or a necklace. But after we did the Pick-a-Pearl, which was super fun, we went over to the France Pavilion, and I got a sandwich for lunch. Riley still wasn't hungry for real food. And then we had a fast pass for Frozen. So we ate, and then I ate, and Riley just chilled with me, and then we walked over to the Norway Pavilion and rode Frozen a second time that day, which was really fun. And then we went back to the hotel to take a break. We knew that we were going to need to take some time off. Epcot is such a huge park, and walking through Epcot is really exhausting, but then also we had gotten a good night's sleep that night before, but we had basically slept 0 hours the previous night before we left, and so we were like really just kind of catching up. That evening we did the Happily Ever After dessert party in Magic Kingdom, and it was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. It was so much fun. You can see that in our vlog. You can go watch all the vlogs if you want more information on this stuff and you want to see more of a real-time glance, but I highly recommend it. We just loved it. The food was great. The service was fantastic. The view was perfect for Happily Ever After, and I just loved it. We really, really, really enjoyed doing that, and it just made seeing Happily Ever After for the first time so special. One thing I will mention with that is that our entrance time was recorded as 6:45, and we arrived at 6, and they let us in, and we were the first people into the party. So I was able to film for my vlog, and we were able to get first pick of tables, and we got to sit it was just like wonderful. I just, if you can, get to things in Disney early, because a lot of times they will let you in, as evidenced by just this one day. But it was great. So that was our day number 2. It was another awesome day. This was actually my favorite day of our whole trip on this trip. Between the Pick-a-Pearl and the Happily Ever After and Garden Grill and riding Soarin' and Frozen twice, this was my favorite day. So I loved our Monday. All right, let's move on. Okay, day 3 is Tuesday, January 23rd. It's another split park day. So in the morning, we're heading to Animal Kingdom. I don't have an early morning breakfast reservation, but we're planning on doing a 2-snack breakfast in Animal Kingdom. We'll likely go to Starbucks, which in Animal Kingdom, I believe is called Creature Comforts. For breakfast, we can each get a drink and some kind of breakfasty treat, sandwich, muffin, I don't know, something like that, and together that will be, each of us will have a breakfast that way. That will probably be after. We're hoping that we're going to be there at Rope Drop in Animal Kingdom and go directly to ride Navi River Journey. That is our plan, and then after that to go get Starbucks for breakfast, most likely. Crossing our fingers that we're able to do that. Then after breakfast, I have 3 fast passes scheduled within Animal Kingdom. I got a Flight of Passage fast pass. I cannot wait. An Expedition Everest fast pass, which has long been my favorite ride in Disney World, and then an Kilimanjaro Safari's fast pass. So that's all before lunch. Then lunch, we are eating at Yak and Yeti at 12:30. We have never eaten at Yak and Yeti, but have heard amazing things, so we're both really looking forward to it. And after our lunch at Yak and Yeti, we will likely head back to our hotel to relax and rest for a couple of hours. Then in the evening, we plan on heading to Hollywood Studios, and we are scheduling a quick service dinner in Hollywood Studios. This I'm not sure about. Right now, Hollywood Studios does not have a whole lot going on. We went last year and we've been for the past 2 years, but last year in particular, just because so many things are shut down as they're preparing to create this Toy Story Land, which is gonna be awesome, there's just not a whole lot going on in the park right now. And so anyway, I don't know if we'll end up going back there for dinner. We may end up deciding to go to Magic Kingdom or even back to Animal Kingdom that evening to see Pandora at night. I'm just not sure. Epcot also has extra magic hours that night until 11 p.m. So maybe we'll go to Epcot instead that evening and eat a quick service dinner there. I could see us doing that. But our tentative plan is to go to Hollywood Studios that evening. I'm not sure that's gonna happen because neither of us are super enchanted with Hollywood Studios, but that's the plan. So now I'll insert footage telling you how our Tuesday actually went. So day 3 was Tuesday, January 23rd, and we started the morning in Epcot, and this was a wild day. This was a wild day. We got coffee at our hotel and brought it with us. We got to Animal Kingdom by 7:30, even though Animal Kingdom didn't open until 9. So we got there 90 minutes early, and there was already a huge line, which is why we got there 90 minutes early. It was wild. They allowed us into the Tree of Life area at 8 a.m. So we couldn't go into the park, but into the Tree of Life area. So you could kind of go and line up near the Pandora Bridge, or you could do it on the other side if you wanted, but we were lining up on the Pandora Bridge. And they actually let us into Pandora at 8:45. And so what we did was go and ride Navi River Journey because we already had a fast pass later in the day for Flight of Passage. And I wish we had ridden Flight of Passage first, and since we were at the very front of the line, because we had no idea how insane that line was gonna get. And so we rode Navi River Journey, walked right on. We were the first 2 people on the ride. It was an okay ride. It was beautiful, but I wish that getting up that early and being there that early, we had leveraged that to ride Flight of Passage. And then after having had ridden Flight of Passage right at park opening, we probably still could have walked and gotten on Navi River Journey. So that's what we'll do next time. You live and you learn, but that's not what we did. So at 8:45, when they let us into Pandora, we went and rode Navi River Journey. And it was still only 8:45, so the park still wasn't even officially open yet. So when we were on that ride and we got off it was like 8:50, and we were thinking, well, perfect, we'll just walk over to Flight of Passage. You cannot believe what line there was already at Flight of Passage. I showed it in my vlog, and we actually walked, the line was all the way to the back of the park and then doubled back, and I walked down the middle of it to film it for my vlog. Mind blown. So then after we decided, well, we're not gonna wait in that Flight of Passage line because we have a fast pass for later, and it was like literally a 3 to 4+ hour line immediately at Park. It blew my mind. So then we went and decided to go and ride Expedition Everest, which is my favorite ride. We went and rode it twice, 0 wait time, because everyone was in Pandora. It used to be that Expedition Everest was the ride that would be backed up, but that's not the case. So we went and rode Expedition Everest twice. Then we went and went back over to, we rode Expedition Everest twice without a fast pass. This is still no fast passes. Then we went over back to Pandora, and I got a Night Blossom drink, which was fun and delicious. Then we went to Starbucks to get a little something to eat. We had planned on going, the Starbucks in Animal Kingdom is called Creature Comforts, but we had planned on going there pretty quickly when we got into the park, but then it was like such a whirlwind with Pandora and then wanting to go over to Everest and all this, so we didn't do that. Then we went and saw the Finding Nemo show, which is my absolute favorite show. It is so good. It is just like the sweetest. It's so neat. I just love that Finding Nemo show. Then we went on the Kilimanjaro Safari with a fast pass. For lunch after that, we had Yak and Yeti, and our meal there was really great. We really enjoyed it. We hadn't been there before. Then we rode Flight of Passage with a fast pass, and after all that, we were ready for a nap. So we went back to our hotel and we took about a 2 or 3 hour nap and just rested and slept after getting up. We had gotten up probably at 6 a.m. and we were really tired. It was really rainy and humid that day, and both of our feet were blistered, so we needed to go take a nap. Once we woke up from our nap, we got some fast passes. Well, we got a fast pass for the evening because we had used the 3 in Animal Kingdom, so we got one for Soarin'. We went to Epcot, we rode Soarin' for the evening. We went to Club Cool and tried sodas. For dinner, we just kind of got random things. We got poutine, we got fish and chips, I got a vanilla strawberry macaroon ice cream sandwich, then I got a caramel. It was like a wacky meal. I think we had planned on going to Hollywood Studios that night, and we didn't do that. We decided to go back to Epcot because Epcot had extra magic hours, so we decided that that was a better use of our time. We shopped in every single pavilion. We walked about 4 or 5 miles just that evening, and this was the day that Riley had tracked, and we had walked about 18 miles in one day. It was wild. That was a crazy day, but it was really fun. We loved Flight of Passage. We loved Pandora. It was just a really good day, but it was exhausting.